Yeah, folks, and welcome to this video. And with 2020 almost over, some of you might be watching this actually already in 2021. I want to, for a few minutes, talk about the world this year and try and think about 2021 a bit and the impact it will have on motorsport as well. Because we are still in the midst of a global pandemic, it's still ongoing. And the issues that were brought up by the world essentially being put on pause for a few months, some which really should have been talked about a lot more, like systemic inequality and oppression, racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia. I really hope these issues get talked a bit more about next year. A lot more about. I hope we see changes. And I'm aware I'm talking about this in a position of privilege. Because I'm one of those many people who managed to have their world be on pause. Some people, their world couldn't stop. And that's been a tough year for so many people. I mean, we all like to talk about how rough and tough our 2020s have been, but I'm aware I got off very lightly from this year. But I can say a lot about 2020 and the year it's been, and some of the lessons I hope we carry forward to 2021. I hope that a lot of the talk about policies to do with systemic injustice and inequality, to do with battling racism where we see it, are carried forward. Same for sexism, homophobia, transphobia. And so many forms of discrimination that we've seen just in the forefront of our media. And that's a big thing for me. At the same time, I hope we have more conversations around things such as the environment and how best to deal with the situation we're facing. But again, like with issues of inequality, I'm concerned that those conversations won't necessarily be had. If we pull the world of motorsport into this, one of the renewing things and redeeming things I've seen about this year is how motorsport communities have reacted. Charitable events, for example. The profile that figures such as soon-to-be Sir Lewis Hamilton have brought to causes in the world of motorsport that wouldn't necessarily think about issues such as racism. That's had a profound effect. F1 had its We Racist 1 campaign, and there were many people pushing for F1 to do more. I hope they still do in the new year. I know Mercedes got their Accelerate 25 initiative, and that's a start. More still needs to be done. And as for the world still being affected by the ongoing pandemic, motorsport is as well. Formula E's opening round in Chile has been postponed, WRC's second round in Sweden has been cancelled, and its opening round in Monte Carlo has seen route changes, both due to environmental effects and due to measures to control the current pandemic. I do come into 2021 with some optimism, because a lot of these issues I'm bringing up are still being talked about. And seeing the likes of Lewis Hamilton entering Team X44 into Extreme E with Sebastian Loeb as one of his drivers, that's a statement of intent. That you can see people who are considered some of the world's greats in disciplines. I know I'm not talking about Gutierrez, Loeb's teammate, who holds so many accolades herself. But to see these athletes talking about causes such as racism and injustice and inequality and saying this message is one that is profound and it's one that I sign up to. That's a sign for a positive movement around the world. I like to think that these issues aren't going to be ones that people stop caring about when 2020 ends. I like to think that they're ones people will still care about in 2021. But I think the main thing to take away from this is don't expect everything to be clean and smooth and plain sailing. There still will be issues. I'm expecting cancellations left, right and centre. Postponements. And at the end of the day, I think we need to understand that those are the right decisions. I think now 7-time World Rally Champion Sebastian Ogier said it best in Mexico when he was saying, why are we doing this when you look at the world around us? F1's Australian Grand Prix had just been cancelled, and there were Italian competitors saying, oh, we took 5 flights to get out here, we don't know how we're going to get home after this, or at least within the next couple of weeks. We don't need to be putting on a show, and motorsport doesn't need to be putting on a show. We need to put people's health and rights and well-being first as a priority. And we need to talk more about people. Talk about the issues that affect people. Systemic injustice and inequality. And I hope that we do in 2021. I'm worried that we won't. And I know I'm saying this from a position of privilege, somebody who wants to make sure that his video comes out before midnight. But as I think about what could happen next year, I really hope that... I really hope we see a good force for change happening. Thank you for watching. I really need to get this off my chest. There'll be a couple of videos coming out before the new year. Maybe even a couple of surprises as well. And I hope to see you around. Bye-bye for now.